Hi guys. I thought I would maybe read a little bit more of this journal because I definitely want to get rid of this journal as is literally mm, it is literally majority of the time in my life that I want to go because this is the journal where I am the most broken, but I guess you'll be able to see how far I've come, and I'll be able to see how far I've come. Um, there is a little bit of a disclaimer with like some of the parts I'm gonna probably read. I was a desperate wife, and religion obviously plays a huge part in who I am, and unfortunately, uh, it also made me stay in this relationship. Um, because I did not want to get a divorce. Um, it made me, yeah, just like not value myself, unfortunately, which is crappy. Um, yeah, and I do some things in this journal that I probably won't do major detail. I'll probably just scratch on them. Um, that I'm not, in hindsight, I wouldn't have done that. I did some things just out of kind of spite and knowing that I could do them and just putting on like a I don't care, he's my husband, I can do whatever I want. Yes, this is after we split. For a very small window of time. And tried to like empower myself, but empower myself in the wrong way. And I am gutted that I allowed myself to get wrapped up in this, I guess, humanistic, like, I can do anything and it doesn't matter about the consequences. And no one got hurt except for myself. I royally got hurt. And of course, I feel like I've taken away something that could have been special somewhere down the track with somebody else. Um, but that encompasses like my whole relationship as well. Um, but yeah, I during the separation, I like 100% still wanted to try to make it work. I still was trying to, yeah, it's 2 years here in New Zealand, and there was no fight on his end, but there was numerous times that I've gone back to him, and the journal may or may not show, and I've asked him, like, are you 100% sure that you don't want to try to work this out? Um, the one thing that it didn't say in there is that when I went on that retreat and I finally made that decision to go, it didn't actually tell you in there why I made that decision. And that decision was made solely based on me saying to him, I can come home, we could do more counseling, but I would need you to stop talking to her. Not for ages. I know that they were friends first, and so I don't know how fair it would be to tell him that he couldn't talk to her anymore, even though the damage had been done with her. But I said, not for ages, but I needed to obviously know that he wasn't going to run to her every second that I made like the wrong move in his eyes, kind of deal. And just put me first again. And he clearly said to me on the phone that if I have to choose, he didn't like that I was giving him an ultimatum, and that if he had to choose, he would choose her over me. And that is what broke the camel's back for me to leave, because I always, nothing made it more clear that I was a bystander in my own marriage than that statement. Um, And I knew then and there that I deserved better. And even though I went back to him and we did some stuff and to prove to myself, and I like tried to see his point of view by watching some stuff, it just wasn't meant to be. Anyway, so that's all explained in this journal, hopefully. Yeah. Um, it has been a good week, a hard week. Starting off this saying, obviously I said that disclaimer, but I'm like trying to think of which one to tell you first. So I'll tell you in order, I guess. So I know I don't really talk about my father's side of the family very much, only that there is Lamech. But I probably haven't done much justice. And of course, when I was writing my journals, I actually wasn't as close with my cousin. I was close with her in the beginning, and then I just got like severely boy crazy, which you saw. Like, I'm still baffled at how boy crazy I was, and like I was boy crazy with her too. That's probably why anyways, I found a new cousin and put a little bit more on her because she was boy crazy as well. Anyways, my aunt ended up having a tumor that was apparently by her ear and was growing and grew into her brain, and she had to have surgery. So I freaked out because I literally found out as she was in surgery that this was happening. And I thought I was going to have to make an emergency trip home because that particular aunt and uncle have been like the most influential aunt and uncle of my entire life, especially when it comes to my dad's side of the family. I only have one uncle. That's, yeah, my dad has a couple of sisters that have lived in Australia, maybe still do, maybe have passed away, I'm not sure. But anyways, he was the one person, him and his wife were the one person who never put down my mom, supported us, like my mom and me, the best, and literally treat me like a princess every time I go home. They're always like coming to visit me, or I go to their house, and like they get me everything under the sun. Like, they gave me more money for my wedding. They're very supportive. And I'm not saying he wasn't stern. I can remember being sent away from this particular house at one stage because he had young sons, one of who I was crushing on. And I was wearing a jean skirt that my dad, like my stepmom, had bought me, but didn't come down to my knees. It came just above my knees, and it was only like just like probably that much above my knees. But I can remember being told to turn around and go home and change before I was welcome in his house. Like, it was like, but you know what? I don't take offense to those things because he's not treated me bad. He said it. I understood where he was coming from. Like, I probably thought it was stupid at the time, but I still understood what he was coming from. And that there was different things in his house, and that was fine. And I was going into his house, and so those were the rules. But yeah, so thankfully she is fine. She is at home now recovering. She's not allowed visitors. Her youngest daughter, who's like 19, and my cousin and her oldest daughter, who is the one I was closest to growing up, they're both taking turns. One's doing the day shift and one's doing, must be the evening shift before she goes to bed. because she's got a walker and she needs help and support throughout the house. And yes, my uncle's there, but my uncle has suffered with bouts of cancer and everything else, so he's quite frail, and obviously they just need someone who's a little bit more capable with her. Um, yeah. So, yeah, I was so upset when I found out. But I'm so thankful that she is okay. And I actually took the opportunity to actually write her a message on Messenger, just telling her how important she was to me, how much important they are to me. The family's important to me. You know, they're the one family that gave me the time of day. Sometimes my stepmom's brothers and sisters have been really nice, and a couple of the children have been really nice, but this was an entire family that like accepted that I was part of the family and I was their cousins. And yeah, and backstory is that my dad and my stepmom are first cousins, and they married their first cousin. So my dad and his brother married their cousins, which ended up being my aunt and my stepmom. So yeah, my brothers are my brothers. But then because my stepmom is my second cousin, her children are my third cousin. And that also means that my aunt and uncle are my second cousins. So because I call them my aunt and uncle because it's my dad's brother, um, their children are my first cousins, but also my third cousin. So it's a lot to get your head around. You are allowed to do that in America. Anyway, so that is a blessing and such an answer to prayer. We were all praying. Um, yeah, it was so touch and go. I was freaking out. And I was trying to look into like going home, which I've never had to go to my dad's house for an emergency. So yeah, it was $2,400 at the drop of a hat. Like that's one way. Like it was going to be crazy. But anyways, I don't need to go. Things are okay. Things are looking up. I stepped on the scales today and I was 75.9 kgs. I started in February on a weight loss journey and I was like 80.8 kgs. So I have officially lost almost 5 kgs. Geez, not quite. But I have lost 10 pounds. So that equates to 10 pounds. So I am stoked because my goal for the end of this month, which we still have like 6 days left, is to be at 75.5. So I'm hoping that I can eat really well the next couple days. So today, I've had 2 coffees with oat milk. I've had an apple for breakfast, a medium apple for breakfast, a small bottle of yogurt, a golden kiwi fruit, 2 low-carb wraps, and inside those wraps was 2 slices of ham each. I split 1 tasty cheese slice between the 2. I split half a green pepper between the 2. I probably had, I want to say between the 2, like 2 or 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise and a couple tablespoons of mustard, and had those, and they were delicious. For dinner, I am having a piece of steak, just that fits in the bottom palm of my hand here. And I've added some teriyaki soy sauce to it to kind of marinate in it. And I'm going to have green beans with that. So that is my dinner. So that is what I'm going to be eating today and nothing more. And that still gives me like, I don't know, 100 or 50 or something calories still. So under that 1380 calories that I'm allowed to have. And that is the only way I'm losing weight right now, is because I'm not really doing any exercise. I do walk to and from work, but today's my original day off, so I don't have work, but I also wouldn't have work anyways because it is actually Anzac Day today, so it's Remembrance Day. So yeah, that's cool. There was a war here our war that the Australia and New Zealand got sent to, called Gallipoli, I believe it's called. Um, and so we've been doing a lot of stuff around that for our kids at work. Anyways, I am going to try to read some of this because I've already talked 15 minutes without this. So this journal's falling apart. October 24th. So this is pretty much a week after we split up. Or 2 weeks. A week. It's nice to have my real journal back. Oh, because he had to send me some stuff. And I read you that 25 pages that I had handwritten. I've gone to bed early. My friend came over today and we went to the park because I've got friends where my sister-in-law lived. She didn't really say much. She did say, though, as Christians, we tend to forget that God doesn't want us to be unhappy, and since technically suffered emotional abuse through words, even though out of trying to be honest, still hurt, understanding, me leaving is better for my ex in the long run. Because I have to put myself first. And I definitely shouldn't be settling with sacrificing all of myself. And I've always thought that I needed to, and I could overlook his flaws. I said it was nice to talk to a third party and just confirm I shouldn't have to wait around. I felt better today because of that. We talked about we messaged each other about what we were going to do about our wedding rings. He said he wanted to put his around a chain. I actually still have mine in I just got rid of them. I just threw them out, actually. I had them in a purse. I didn't want to lose them. He was going to hang on to all the wedding stuff because I didn't want it right now. And I'm not at the place to have the photos and the memories. I said I didn't want to have anything in the house. I didn't hear anything from my job, so that was annoying. Been going to church, but I just want to feel invisible. He's starting to see my point of view and is trying. And I was hacking his Facebook account. Not hacking his Facebook account, but going into his Facebook account and seeing messages. Because I wanted to see if he was still messaging her. And I kept bringing her up with my ex, and he just kept saying that she was processing. And one of his work friends is helping him out. October 25th. As my almost 13-year relationship ends, I decide to own all my feelings. I feel like I have been abused, unloved, thrown away, used by the one person who was supposed to protect me forever. It hurts to feel unloved by the one person I never thought would turn his back on me. However, I let him cloud my vision for the real person who has always been you, Heavenly Father, to keep me secure in who I am and rooted in faith. I hope my heart to keep from going cold or black, filled with anger or rage. Instead, it's been filled with strength and peace to carry on. Reality, things are okay. I just need to keep one foot in front of the others, and God will do the next. I am loved. I do deserve the best. Devotion, evaluation that God has given me in a sacrifice on the cross. I will not be angry with him. I will love him, respect his decision, and try to let him go, and wherever our lives would have been. That life is no longer ours together. We are not a we, it's now you and I, and love is what we need to show one another as we figure out what that means and what it looks like. Life happens. I know who I am, and that Heavenly Father always has my back. I draw strength in knowing he will hold the ultimate deck of cards and cover me in protection. I woke up angry this morning, so I emailed Sam. And this is what I said. How can you say that you feel bad, yet you continue to sleep with me, taking away something that you didn't hold precious from me? But I did. You never treated me or even treasured sharing that part of myself with you. You took away my chance of having children without even a second glance. You say you're sorry and you handled things wrong, yet you are doing the same thing to someone who is supposed to be your friend, wrecking 2 marriages and 3 children. Just seems very selfish. You owe it to your friend and for your love for the girls and the boy to tell him. 13 years you pretended I didn't. Now you walk away with your head held high. How the hell does that work? You say you care about your actions. Contradict that all with more secrets and not even stopping from doing this to someone else. You did teach me exactly what never to accept in a relationship. I have no idea why I could never be treasured or loved the way I deserve to be. I can see a happier life without you in Canada. I'm gutted about how much I allowed you to take away from me. I should have left a long time ago, knowing I would never make you happy. I thought I needed to stay and continue to be told I'm not good enough. You might have 2 impressionable ladies watching your every move soon, and I pray to God that somehow you can learn to treasure and love them. Show them how special they are to be treated. Never feel like they aren't beautiful or good enough, or should never come second best. This was all on my heart this morning. I haven't heard from him at all. I didn't know if he reads his emails. I do hope he listens, though. I also sent the little girl a message about how amazing she is and talented and beautiful and never settle for second best. I feel so bad leaving the girls. I feel guilty about leaving my friends' children. And I feel really guilty about leaving the nieces and nephews that I'm with. I am angry. I'm angry with him. I'm angry with her. I feel like I'm being laughed at and abused. I want them to feel bad, not for being caught, but bad for what they did to their families for not saying something sooner or pretending. I'm angry that that everything has been stolen by someone who doesn't treasure it. I'm angry I was never treasured. I'm angry I was never loved the way I deserved. Always made to feel unworthy, unvalued, second best, never be a mom. I hate anger. I don't want to be angry over what I've missed out on. I want to see strength in that I can be happy, I can feel loved, I can feel worthy, I can feel valued, and I am number one. I know I shouldn't have a guy give me these things. I need to find them in myself. I miss him as a person to talk to, as a friend, as a husband. No, he didn't treat me as he should, but I loved him. I loved talking to him. I loved kissing him. I loved hugging him, and I loved waking up next to him. I loved pulling him close in the mornings, and I loved laughing with him. I have lost a piece of myself like I cut off my arm. It's so hard. I ache to hear his voice, feel his touch, even read an email or text message. I long for contact, but he doesn't. How can he not miss what we had for the last 12 years? How can he not fight and feel nothing? It's 1 month today that my world got turned upside down. October 27th. Always 2 steps forwards and 4 steps back. Not sure I can get legal aid. I'm so distraught. And my sister-in-law is getting mad because she doesn't want me having anything to do with my ex. I feel like no one can help me. It's just me. He did say he valued me and he needs me to be okay, but why does he care? I'm not sure. I don't have the answer to that. All of this is a lie, because the minute I say I'm not moving back to Canada, I'm blocked on everything. So, he was, yeah. Any next thing that comes out is not true. I mean, it's so frustrating. He just needs to feel good about himself. And he realizes that we need to sell the house. My sister-in-law's mad because I still want what's best, but I'm not sure I can take much more of attack on him. And she's just going after him. I'm emotionally drained and overwhelmed. I'm tired of fighting and I don't want to anymore. I just want to be back in Canada where I feel treasured, appreciated, and loved for who I am, with people who are real and had never hurt me the way that I've been hurt here. Help me find my self-worth and self-esteem once again. Much better day today. Sorted out stuff. And with the ex, I was sorting out stuff at home. Went grocery shopping. Went to church. Just feeling slightly more human. Yeah, we're trying to do a private sale. He's talking about moving to Australia. He feels defeated. He's finally feeling the way I felt. I do feel bad and upset, but nothing I can do. He will see in the long run. We hate selling the house, but we have no choice. He's kicking his feet because he doesn't want to have to sell under a certain amount, but we have to. He put himself separated on Facebook. So that's how I know he's really pissed off. And I took down all the photos on Facebook. He said he's going to move to Australia because there's nothing for him here. I hate that we're fighting, but it's fair to divide up the house in it. And he is, and he has everything in it. We need to sell it because it's the way we can both be happy. And he doesn't want to talk to me. We had someone view the house. we had an open and honest conversation. He's looking at houses, and he declared he's waiting to see what's going to happen with her. Asked if her and the kids are safe, and he deserves more than putting his life on hold. He says that the dad and her have been talking, and they will move over here. They're supposed to be bringing both girls because they can make the choice, but I'm not sure what's happening with the boy. They have lots of hard decisions to figure out. I told him we should have never got married. This has made it very clear, and I'll get divorce finalized as soon as I can. And I hope everything works out for them. Of course, I'm in tears, regretting I gave up so much to live here. Feels like I'm nothing. He doesn't want to get his hopes up, but he is. I'm trying to see if my dad will help me, but he doesn't. I seriously don't know how this has worked at all. He says he tried to be what I wanted him to be. What the hell? I have to try not to talk to him. So trying to keep the phone away from me. We said to only contact about the lawyers, the beds, the cats, the house. He doesn't like my random emotional outbursts. I struggled today, even though he said I was a good wife and should not feel like I failed. I do. I have dark clouds on most of today that all the time I hate it, as I don't want to feel dark and gloomy. I'd like to go to Disney World when I go home. I'm overwhelmed. Only 3 more weeks. I'm about to go on a road trip to Dunedin. I went on his messenger again and found his friends telling him he should play the field. And felt really angry and upset as he said that he finally feels free. As if I kept him from doing heaps. Everyone keeps saying how proud they are of me handling this situation in such a positive way, and I don't see it. I guess because I feel like I'm in quite a dark place, but since I'm a peacemaker and planner and optimism and feel somewhat bigger plans, I can keep going. There's an open house for our house on Friday, so that's good. I was going to move into a house, but the house fell through, so now I didn't know what I was doing. And I can't go home until the house sells, because I need to have that finished. I'm reading a book, and it was a really good book, and it was called, what was it called? I think it's called The Joys of Sex or something. And it put a lot of things into perspective for me, actually. And yeah, it changed a lot of stuff that I did. And I was reading a lot of stuff as well. Um, and it just made me realize that some of the like walls that I had up were because of the fact of the way that he treats me. Um, and that's why I couldn't fully let go and do some of the stuff that he wanted me to do, because like I said, I never felt valued, I never felt loved, I never felt desired. Like, the list goes on and on. But yeah, so it was a really good book. Yeah. Anyway, so I messaged him all this thing, and it was just like, it's a little too late now. But I knew that. I just, yeah, wanted him to know that I did understand now. Sam talking himself into believing we were incompatible. He's also just wanting to see what she does. Putting life on hold. He's thrown everything away for what might be. He says he hopes good influence on girls and the boy. I said if he showed half as much devotion to me as he does to her right now, it'd be a very different life together. I wish him well. Lots of embracing God's forgiveness, accepting forgiveness and God's grace for any wrongdoing in a relationship. I was reading articles and stuff. I read a few articles today with this evening that made sense. My grief is different in him, not just because I'm the victim of the ending, but also because he was the first reciprocated love, which is why I'm a bit more emotional about it all. We united. So what did I have? What was good? We overcame depression. We overcame fertility. We united in fertility and remained strong. Kept going on dates and remained positive. We had awesome trips, fulfilled dreams, touching dolphins, going to Rarotonga, buying a house, getting a cleaner. We tried to support one another. I've learned to put one foot forward at times, to keep smiling through the pain, that God is always there protecting me. I can make it through the storm, take baby steps even when life like I'm slipping, to keep fighting, to stick to my guns, not giving it to compromise. I deserve happiness. I deserve to be loved. I'm a peacemaker. I'm caring. I'm optimistic. I try to be understanding. I validate all the feelings. The pain does ease. What do I want? I want to be happy. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a mom. I want to grow old with someone. I want to find me, and I want to feel safe and secure. Who am I if I am not a wife, a daughter, a godmom, a sister, a sister-in-law, an aunt, and a friend? So I'm going over to speak to my friends about what has happened. Oh no, he's going over to tell them about what happens. He doesn't. I did tell her that our friend, that someone else was involved and they should know. I just wish I knew what he would say to them and be a fly on the wall. I got my passport back today. I lost this passport that I got. I got a 10-year Canadian passport. I had to get another one last time I went home because I lost it. So I said I could stay at their house for a couple weeks. I need to. My friend's picking me up from the airport and then dropping me at the house because I need to pack everything up. I'm going to Dunedin. I didn't go to Dunedin yet. I thought I had. Yeah, I have no idea what he said to his friends, but they're not impressed, and they said shit happens. No one came to the open house. On my trip to Dunedin for my friend's baby shower. And it's my birthday. Oh, my birthday's coming up. I was starting to get rid of all my bills. His parents are really hurt and they're upset. November 14th, 11 years of loving blessings, starting with the sheer beauty of this country. Just over 11 years I came to this country and was amazed by the rich greenness, the gorgeous native birds, the creatures, and the sheer magnitude of heaven found in people and places like Piha and Waitakere Ranges. I can say I've been blessed to call this home for so long. I am thankful for this country and experiencing the other side of the world that I never could have dreamed of experience. I chose to grow old in this country, doing life and enjoying it to the fullest with him. However, our choices were not aligned in Canada. Safety of friends and families calls me home to grow and old there instead. I'm actually going to miss New Zealand. I didn't realize it felt like home till it wasn't anymore. Funny how with seasons change in life, so too does the thought. So he's Number 2, nothing showed me the amazing culture like visiting Russell, Pahia, Cape Reinga, Tāne Mahuta, and Treaty Grounds, learning about New Zealand's history just before I started school and just after I gained permanent residency. The dolphin tour, quad biking, and 90-mile beach tour was amazing, and among my favorite places here. I did intend to be on a cruise up there. It was on my bucket list, but I guess I won't be going. Life is hard without a job, income, or real place to stay, but even though I walk through the eye of the storm, I will fix my eyes and trust in him who has always guided me through, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. I feel like I've somewhat said goodbye to him, to my ex, although a piece of me would try if he gave up her, but I doubt it's going to happen, and I doubt he will ever realize what he had in me. I feel like I grieve now for New Zealand in leaving it and the people, for my ideas, plans, dreams I wanted to make in this country, and I will leave them all behind. Talking about my niece and I making a card, and it was really hard to leave her, let her go. I'm confused about what I believe about anything: divorce, remarriage, living common law, sex. um, I just, yeah. Went camping or about to go camping. I've got a whole bunch of scripture here because that's what is filling me at the moment. It's the day before my birthday. Sam's first, he was the first to wish me happy birthday. I asked him if he wanted to make it work, and he said no, he wanted to give it a go with her. He's going there for a weekend, but that other husband doesn't know. I told him that I thought he should know, and he got all this defensive, and we got in a huge fight. We've been disagreeing all day. People are trying to get a hold of the other guy involved and let him know what's going on with his wife and me. I mean, his wife and my ex, but it's got nothing to do with me, but it's falling on me. I've written so scriggly, I don't even know. So I got told today that I could have a house at my friend's house. I could live with her parents. So I am going to stay with her parents, which is a huge blessing that I can do that. And I can stay until I figure something out. Some stuff happened with my little cousin and her mom. My third blessing was birthdays in the sun, 2006 to 2017. 2010 and 2017 being some of the best. When Uncle came, my 30th, and camping this year. Fourth blessing, lollipops. Career support over years and career education. Fifth, traveling, rural, Gold Coast, Brisbane, home, all the gorgeous places I have been here. Today I got a hold of our real estate agent and to put the house on the market and try to get him to talk some sense into my ex. And I have to tell some more people that we're not together. I'm blocked on Facebook. It's his way of cutting me out. I forgot that happened before. I commented on a old post from 2 years ago and said, was this even true or real? And he thought it was manipulative, so he deleted me. Number 6 was for people I have met and amazing kids. I've saved these post on Facebook so I can remember them. A week ago, I wanted to look up Philippians 1:29, drive into more, as it really speaks to me, and I keep being reminded. There's far more to this life than trusting Christ. There's also suffering for him, and the suffering is as much a gift as the trusting. For to you has been granted for Christ's sake, not only to believe in him, but also to suffer for his sake. Fertility, redundance, depression, no separation, divorce, all suffering, right? Concordance says all believers ought to expect to suffer as an inevitable part of their calling. To believe is not to invade suffering. It is to face it with new confidence and hope. Rightly approaching suffering develops the character of the believer, equips them for more effective services, draws believers closer to Jesus Christ, and prepares them for eternal life. And that is 100% what happened with me. As I count down my blessings, he is a blessing. That's reality. He started all of my New Zealand blessings by bringing me here and sharing his world with me. We suffered a lot together. We grew a lot together. I loved him. He taught me how to love. We shared laughs and memories and a bunch of firsts together. It was an 11-year adventure that it's ended too soon, but an adventure that set us up for the next chapter in our lives. A piece of my heart will always reside with him and this country, and I know that past will make people... I don't even know. Every word is hard to admit, and although I don't know what was true or lies, I know he was a blessing. We paid off debt and had a relatively good life, and we set ourselves up for the future. I don't want hostility, just reminding him I don't even know. I don't condone it. I don't condone him going to visit her, but I don't want to be seen as a bitch either. It's his money to use. Oh, we had $164 in air points, so I told him he can't use it. I wish life was different, very different. Once again, I broke today. Last night, I don't even know. Somebody removed somebody. My niece's mom got removed from family photos, and her sister got pissed off that he removed them. I told her off and asked her to leave me alone, as apparently she went off on him, on my ex, and he assumed I told her too that I reposted it from May, as he did see early comment and thought followed suit. That's what made him delete me. I just broke down saying, I can't believe after 13 years that's what you think of me. I say stuff, but I'm not spiteful. I don't do anything. He says he's not sorry he met me or married me. He just got lost. I've just cried and cried. And I feel really sick because I've got a headache. I just want to die those dark days. I thought I was over, and I'm not. Today it crept back in. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of the pain, the anxiety. I just want to feel the hold. I want to understand why this is happening. How to not feel so broken. How to see him next week. Such a bad day. This breaking up stuff is nuts. I'm fine now. I can't stop wanting to be with him one last time. I guess maybe I want to prove to myself I can do things with him as a final goodbye. I told him, I said, no idea how I'm going to cope seeing you. Truthfully, in spite of everything, I love him. All I can think about is hugging and kissing him. We had been texting back and forth on Snapchat. I don't know if you call it inappropriate when we're married, but kind of inappropriately. I just was becoming someone I didn't know. I don't know. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in here and I'm not going to read it. I'm going back now in a very playful mood because of it. So I'm not as stressed going back. And I'm hoping it could be the best it's ever been, but it's not. Just want to say goodbye. Yeah, I'm doing a bunch of things that I wouldn't normally do. He's being really surprised. Just, yeah, being somebody I'm not really. Been playing with fire all day. My sister-in-law is upset that I am even thinking of being with him when I'm home. It's just, yeah, I'm just being stupid. I really shouldn't have done any of this. My niece and I had a good chat about why I was moving. 2 months in, and I feel so much better than I was, that's for sure. Feeling slightly disheartened about last night. It doesn't hurt a bit to see him. I had to stop myself from crying a few times, trying to stay disconnected. I need to stop thinking and I guess putting myself down. Because I'm at his house and doing things I shouldn't be doing. And my friends are coming over for dinner, so we're trying to pretend. And the girl he wanted to be with is getting jealous that we're doing things, and I'm just like, I don't actually care because he's still my husband. But it does put a stop to it. I got to see my godson, that was cool. I packed up all my stuff. My ex has been conflicted about what we're doing and how he feels about her. Too bad he didn't have that same feeling with me. I'm excited because I'm wearing size 10 jeans. I'm not even in size 10 now. Went to New Mexican restaurant. Didn't really like it. And then we had a small moment of sharing because that she couldn't share with him, which was really cool because I was around when his grandma passed away and he had someone come into work that had a stroke. And it really brought up all these feelings about his grandma. Oh, and now his parents are here and we're pretending that we're not doing anything when we are. And it feels super weird, and I'm spending Christmas with them. November 30th, today I went into Lollipops. And tomorrow I am starting to work there. So November 30th, 2017 is when I came back to this job. Heaps of my friends aren't there. Some of them still are. Haven't done very well at staying away from my ex. I'm now living in Titirangi with my friends. I had a great day. it was my first long day at work and back at work, and it's funny because it was exactly 4 days since I left, 4 years since I left Lollipops that I walked back into it. My ex is trying to get my house all done, which is great. I went to church. My friends were at church. They now live somewhere else, but they were there. I'm feeling bad because my ex is hurting as much as I am now, and he was really lost. And now I'm feeling really bad, I think. Got my passport and visa. I'm struggling to go to church. One of our friends' little girl asked about him, and I told him that I thought he might care if, and then he got mad because I said, "Why are you asking if I care?" And then I had my period late, so I was a little bit scared that I was pregnant, and he basically just told me that I was trying to trap him, and it was such bullshit. I felt really upset wanting to jump off a ledge, pretty much. I've never felt this suicidal at times since 18. Heaps and wanting to overtake me, and I have to calm myself down. I'm not sure why. This is where I'm most vulnerable and weak. Others think I'm this strong, resilient lady, but I'm not. Today I still am broken. I feel like I'm lying to everybody. I thought of him a lot today, but refrained from texting him. I met a new friend at work, Grace, who I am very good friends with. My sister-in-law is back at home. That's why I couldn't stay there, actually. I had to come. I miss my cats heaps. I got my period, and that was great. Because I mean that I wasn't. And I was enjoying my work. December 9th, I'm angry at her, I'm angry at him. I want to scream, be careful who you trust, don't make new friends. I just can't believe how screwed over I got, and they don't even know they screwed me over. They feel like they did no wrong. It's frustrating. I feel like he ruined so much of the last 6 months. Things I wanted to do, I put myself second and tried again with no one caring. I really struggling with anger, resentment, wanting everything to come out so he deals with what he has done and her. I hate that they can carry on without consequences. I hate he cheated on me without a care. I hate he gets to keep contents and cats. I worked so hard for everything in that house, yet I continue to get screwed over. I was so nice to her and got shit on by her. I want karma to bite them in the ass, both of them. They are disgusting. Their actions are disgusting. I want the other guy to know I have no part in the play that they overstepped. I don't think my ex can even be happy at this rate. This is very, very sad. I hate being single. I hate struggling not to text him. I did good Friday, horrible yesterday, good today. Too much separation. Pictures of the house have been taken, so that's good. And I'm trying to see if I can let him stay in the house because I don't want him to be homeless. I went shopping into the pub. I'm trying to make him miss me. I'm going away because I don't feel like I should be by myself. I once thought I had boundaries up with him, but I'm realizing I just said those things, hoping and praying it to be true to protect myself from this heartache. This is worse than leaving family, worse than fertility. I never ever want to feel this again. I'm not sure I want to chance having this happen ever again. I remember writing this. Last night, in the wee hours this morning, had a dream that the other girl and the kids came and were staying at my house. I was there and refused to let her go to him, making her and the kids sleep in the lounge. It was awful, so awful. I had a horrible meltdown on the way to work. I managed to work, but almost had to melt down on the way home. I'm so angry, so broken, and in so much pain, and I don't feel like he gives a damn. I don't know how I'm going to make it through Christmas with his family. It's also very, very painful. I hate having meltdowns. I feel pathetic feeling this way, and I hate that he has been able to make he has been able to be fun with it. And I was able to prove that sex was not the issue. So I finally let go of everything. And when that was taken away and he was patient and he was not frustrated with me, I was able to do whatever. Today I had a huge discussion and argument with him. I had to pay back half the mortgage principal, and he's just telling me now. And it was a lot of money. I also told him I'm emotionally struggling and in a dark place. He accused me of being dramatic, which was hurtful, and I told him how I truly feel, and it scares me. I thought I protected myself from this, but obviously not, as I've been very dark, especially talking to him. I also said since he was being in a dark place himself, he should be supportive and understanding. I didn't hear from him the rest of the night. My nieces are falling apart because they're really upset that we're not together anymore. It's just hard. Feeling emotional at the moment comes and goes so fast, really all over the place. Evening with Primrose, I'm not sure if it's helping. My ex and I are talking all right. And I'm back at the house. Oh no, I'm not back at the house yet. We got an offer on the house, and we accepted the offer for $312. So everything is underway. I went to my friend's party. I went to Christmas and my nephew stuck to my side the whole time. He's always been a good one, that one. Even now, always coming over. He just came over this week for dinner. Got to Rotorua yesterday. This is also another bad time. Again, being stupid. It's been a crazy couple days. I put purple in my hair. Somebody tried to tell the girl about, a girl tried to tell the other guy about my ex and the girl, but it didn't happen. I got blamed. We spent the night together again in the morning as well. And I just didn't actually care. I just completely did not care. And for somehow, he still thinks he's trying to save our marriage. But he wants to run everything by Sabra. I went into my friend's house because I was so upset. I didn't even want to see him. I was just annoyed. January 1st, 2018. A whole new life, a new beginning starts now. A new chapter, free of him and endless possibilities. I'm just trying to leave. And I want... So, what just occurred, I think, was... And I'm going to end this last one. Because I've had enough. I still have hoops to read, but I've had enough. It's the last time I was with him. He put the brakes on because she didn't like it. That's fine. He was on the phone with the girl and her family, and he had already told me that he planned to go there and sleep with the girl. And so he was talking to his friend like it was completely nothing, like as if he was buddy. He wasn't gonna go steal away the wife. And I just freaked out. I just got so upset because that's not the person I love. That's not the person I fell in love with. That's not the person I know. He would never even think about doing that with his other friends. Like, I was baffled he would do it with this friend. And to just be lying, and like the kids were on the phone and he was chatting to them, and like, not like he's gonna go there and split up and change everything. It was so disheartening that I left crying. My friend came and got me and took me to my other friend's house until I could get on the bus and go home. I didn't say goodbye. I said goodbye to my cat crying, and I walked out. And we have only been in the same place maybe 3 times. Once for his sister's 40th, once for a weekend with his best friends at their 40th, and once at my godson's birthday. I don't remember which one it is. It's probably all in this book. Yeah. And I've had him also walk past me in a restaurant as if I was no one. So yeah, I think I've seen him maybe five times at best. 3 times we were in the same place. Once I saw him in passing, or maybe twice I saw him in passing. But yeah. Anyways, that is part 2, and there is still many more parts to this. I'll be glad when this journal's done. But I have all these pages to now throw away, which is great. It probably wasn't a heap of pages, but I have to do this little by little because otherwise it will spiral me down, and I don't want to be spiraled down. I just want to see where I've come back from, and I'm glad that this is almost over. Just looking at the little things that are in here. My cruise is even in here. So yeah, a lot of exciting things are in this book coming up. Moving on, and yeah, I am cutesy little photos. So cute. Yeah, I hope you have a good evening and weekend, and I will see you when I decide to go through this journey again. Talk to you later. Bye.